Okay, so I'm going to do the first recording, which is of the cover of this We Are Family book. I'll do the cover, then I'll come back and do the waterfalls and the inside. So the cover is just, I'll show you what we're going to do. I've got a sign on the door that lets people know that I'm recording. We'll see how well that goes. So in the kit, you're going to get the trifold from G45. You just go ahead and unwrap it. Take off the cover. Throw all of this away. I have a trash can down here on the floor. And if you believe me, stand on your head. All right, so the first thing that goes on this is the light green, and your instructions tell you to the bottom layer of the top, and I'm going to lay this right here so that you can see this. The bottom layer of the top is the mint green. The instructions should say 7 1/8 by 7 1/8. That if you have the old instructions, they may say 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. And if they do, you may want to trim it down because I like to have a little bit of the black showing around the edge. Once you've done that, and you've got 7 1/8 by 7 1/8, then we're going to cut 1/4 of an inch. Now, I cannot tell you, yes, you can see me. I had to stand up to see. I'm going to cut all the way around the edge, and I'm going to leave a 1/2 of an inch showing. Now, with this cutter that I have, it's really good in that I can see my measurements. And you can estimate where a 1/2 an inch is. 1/2 an inch is here, and a 1/2 an inch is there. And you could leave it at an inch, and I may wish that I had left it at an inch. But we'll see when I finish if I do. If I do, you know what? I've got extra paper that I can redo this video. So there is my cutting out the center. And the reason I'm cutting out the center is because I want to save it for matting. And I'll show you what we're going to mat. I didn't cut very well. I didn't get my edges cut very well, but that's okay. We'll get those cut. Don't have my scissors here with me. So there's that, and there's my leftover. Now, the next piece that goes on the inside of this is my coral. Now, on my original book, it was a printed, but when I did the kits, they no longer had, Echo Park no longer had this, and it was really Carta Bella, and they no longer had that piece. So I got the closest I could find. And what we're going to do is, in this piece is 6 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I cut that piece out. Now I'm going to take this and do the same thing with this that I did with my green. Now you see the green is going to go in the center of this. Now I'm going to cut a 1/2 an inch off of this. And I'm going to come in here. I'm hoping I can get a little better of a cut with this one than I did with the other one. There we go. And I'm putting this down at the 1/2 an inch. And it's always important that you know your trimmer. It's also important that you know fractions. I don't teach math, but I can tell you one of the frustrations most teachers have is when they go to teach a class and a class doesn't know what a 1/4, an 1/8, a 16th, or even a 1/2 is. So learn what your fractions are. Helps your teacher, makes her happy. So this is what's going on the inside of this, just like this. So I'm going to put that there. And I didn't bring any of my, of course I didn't bring any adhesive or anything over here with me. So I'm going to the other side of the table and get that because I'm teaching from the wrong side of the table. And I told I put a sign on the door that told people that I am recording, that to come on in, but to shh, be quiet. Don't interrupt me. So that's quite all right if they do. I am expecting 2 individuals this morning, so I'm going to put this, just putting some of this. This is scrapbook adhesive. This is the adhesive of my choice. It does little ridges or little strips. It's not the snail that some people use. Now, I do use that, and I do have it, but today I'm not using it. And if I had my art glitter glue, I would be using my art glitter glue, but I do not have it with me today. So I'm going to lay this down, kind of eyeballing where I think it should go, and lay it down just like that. That goes just there. Now, this, pulling my book back in, is going down on top of it. Now, you'll notice I had a little bit more of a margin, but it's okay. I'm going to put this down on top of the coral. Again, I'm going to bring in my adhesive, and I'm going to run it down the edges. I'm putting a little more on this piece than I did the other piece. Who knows why? There's no rhyme to my reason. And if you wanted to, you could be using inks on this. I recommend you do. It helps to cover up the imperfection and the white that shows. And even though I don't have my ink on this, I can come back and put ink on it. Now, that is pretty much the base of the cover. I'm not going to put it down yet. I'm going to lay it to the side because we're going to bring in We Are Family, which is our title, and it is supposed to be, it's one of the 4x6 cut-aparts that are in your kit. You get a lot of paper. You get more than you'll ever need in case you make mistakes. These are 4x6, but you need to trim them down to 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now, I've already cut this one down to 3 3/4. Now, when cutting this down to 5 3/4, don't just do it this way because it'll be wonky. You want to take, here we go with those fractions, you want to take 1/8 off each side. Now, when you take 1/8 off each side, guess what that equals? 2/8 equal 1/4. There it goes. There's those fractions. You got to have those fractions. Even if you didn't learn them in school, you're going to learn them here. Now, I have just enough to make me a little bit. It makes very little left over on this. So you know what I'm going to do? There's not enough mat for me. So I'm coming back in here, and I'm going to take a little bit more. I'm going to take a 1/16 off the long sides, just a 1/16 off the long sides. You know why? Because I want to see a little more of that coral on either end, just like that. Just like that. Now I'm going to put a little bit of the scrapbook adhesives around the edges of this. Now I'm going to lay it in here like this. And y'all, I am not really a big measurer once I get to this point because it looks good. Now I know that this is 3 3/4. I'm going to put it back in there at 3 3/4, and I'm going to give it just about a 1/16, because that's about all it's going to need, and that might be too much. Ooh, that didn't do right. So we'll pull it up. This scrapbook adhesive is very forgiving in that for the next little bit, I can pull up. There we go. That worked perfect. And I can put this out of the way, bring it back in, and show you how that works. Just perfect there. Even if my measurements are spot on and you don't like the measurements that I give, don't hesitate changing them. No reason why you can't make changes. Now, we're going to also pop this up, and I'm going to show you my favorite pop dots. Again, I'm flying by the seat of my pants. And when I fly by the seat of my pants, I'm going to pull in my favorite pop dots from scrapbook adhesive. I'm going to turn these over, and I do not spare my pop dots. One other thing that you can do with these, since it's a solid surface, you can do kids art foam and cut it the size of your piece, and it gives you a nice firm surface. And it's a lot less than spending your money on a lot of pop dots. I don't sell that in my shop, but I do use it. I just don't have any of them on my desk right now. So I'm going to use my pop dots. Now, there we go. And I'm going to lay this right down here and like that. That's that. Now, you have to take these off too, Connie. So I'm going to take these off. My nails don't want to do that, so I'll pull these like this if I can. Help to pull these up. Lift. If I had my poker, it would work a lot better. My poker's in my backpack. I keep my backpack packed in case I want to take a project home with me. I put my tools in my backpack and pick it up and carry it with me with my project so I can carry it home with me. I used to have a crop room at home, but my crop room at home still has my grid wall, my crop desks. I have 2 crop desks, my hutches but there's no cropping stuff in it. My husband uses it to store his barbecue cooking stuff. Now I'm going to lay that right there. That works. Slide those out of the way so you don't have to look at those on camera all the afternoon. Now, these are my brads. We don't use eyelets much anymore. These are brads. You can use any color, any size that go along with this. I do think I may be providing those to you. So what I'm going to do is poke a hole in my paper. I had a poker, pokey, and I'm going to stick these down in there. Hope it's big enough. It is. Pokey. Poke it in there. Poke another hole in there this side. Not big enough. Come back here and give me another bigger hole. There we go. Stick these all the way in like that. And sometimes you have to turn these because they're going to be big like this. Sometimes you have to turn them and so they don't stick out beyond your paper. And stick these and turn them so they don't stick out beyond your paper. And these will have a little bit of leftover where my fingers can go up under them, and I will show you why. Your jute, when you put your jute, let me show you your jute, goes across here like this. And I will double it and go around here and double it and come back and double it. It's going up under it and come back this way. That way, and you can do this any way that you like. You can do it with, I'll show you another way to do it. if you want it to look like a clothesline, you can take these two pieces, because I don't have scissors over here. I do have scissors sitting in a toolkit over there. You can do it like this. Now you can tie these off if you want to, because I don't have time to tie them off. Let's see if I can tie them off while you're on the air. Well, I've got you recorded. Like this. There we go. I guess I could learn how to speed up things, couldn't I? Now, let's put it on here like this. And let's take this one off. And take this and kind of turn it around and turn it around, maybe. I don't know if I like this, but we'll try it. There. Oh, yeah, that worked. Turn there. And turn you here. And there. Now, you have it like it looks like a clothesline, just like that. And I had it pulled too close to me. Now, I have a little bucket over here that has all of our banners. And I'm going to put these here. 1, 2. I'm putting these on here first. I don't have to. You could put them on the back. 3, 4, 5, 6. It kind of helps me to place them. 7. So 1, 2, 3. My UPS man's running late today. 4, 5. I've got on my Fed Up shirt. I'm fed up with FedEx. 5, 6, 7. How about that? Number 7. Now bring them in. I've already laid them out in a tub in the order that I want them. And I kind of put them up there along that. 1, 2. There. I'm going to put this one over here. 3. Oopsie. 3. 4. Put those down there. And you can always add a little art glitter glue, squeeze some liquid glue in there to make them stick down here. And there. And there's that one. There you go. There we go. There is the banner that goes on your front cover. And all I'm gonna do is run me adhesive. Again, art glitter glue works. This glue works. And if you find this does not hold it the way you want it to hold it, there is no reason you cannot pull this up and add your art glitter glue. Or there's no reason you can't add this and art glitter glue. I add them both quite often. Art glitter glue on top of this makes it a little bit repositionable. There we go. You can work on your jute. I think I hear there's my ups man. Just in time to end this one. So this is the cover of your book. Again, I would suggest that you do some little inking. And I would put art glitter glue on there to make it adhere to the top of those little banners. Thank y'all for joining me. The next one will be where I show you to do some of the parts of the inside of the book. Thank you for joining 2G's Designs.